What's up, Brandon Green? Got two things I want to talk to you really quick about, both fairly important. Number one, I need you to mark this date on your calendar, October the 16th. And so, if you're following Brandon Green, you know we meet the first Wednesday of every month. We do up, in, out, and then we take a poll on what needs to happen on the fourth month. And so, this time we're doing out. We will not meet the first Wednesday of the month of October because we will be doing something else. But what we will do is out will be on October the 16th. And so here's the deal. October the 16th is on a Sunday. A guy, Morgan, you guys know him well. He has asked us to participate in a kind of a silent prayer walk at Prairie Village. And so when he approached us about that and said, hey, will you guys join me in this? The elder said, hey, tell us why. Like, why do you want to do this? And his response was very simply, man, because everything rises and falls on abiding with the Lord. And so he wants to do it right. And so we're like, man, that's a good that's a good why. And so for Brown to Green, we're joining him October the 16th, 2 to 4. We're going to be in Prairie Village, and we're simply going to walk some of the streets of Prairie Village, just praying for God's will to be done there. All right? And so I would ask you to get with your spiritual parents because they have the full details on that. But that's October 16th, 2 to 4. That's when we'll celebrate our out. This is a great time for you to bring people that you're discipling, as it's a great place for them to practice praying. All right, not necessarily out loud, but just simply praying. Maybe a good time for you actually to teach them the octagon of prayer and walk them through the Lord's Prayer. And so just a fantastic time for you to help them do ministry. Now, the second thing I want to talk to you about is the retreat. All right, so first Saturday of the month in November is going to be the annual retreat. Here's what I want to do. Like, we have a lot of things that we need to cover. Like, we need to finish up some stuff on the website so that we can unveil it as a resource, as a tool for you guys. We need to talk about how you get your missions out in front of the church. It's a real simple process with that. We need to spend some time with the Lord together, with both worship and prayer with Him. Like, there's a lot that we need to cover. But here's my push to you. There are about 90 something plus people, almost 100 people in Brown to Green. All right. And in fact, just in the last probably 5-6 days, 5 discipling groups have launched on their own. All right. Just got the emails through the website saying, hey, launch my D group. Here's who I've invited in. So kind of neat. Like, it doesn't require much coaching, and in that, those 5 will be their first discipling groups, and they are learning how to disciple. Like, they're knocking down those 5,000 hours on how to disciple people. The Lord will show them how to push and when to love. And so here's my plea. In that 100 group of people in Brown to Green, like, discipling has always been high invite, high challenge. And so you should know that terminology. It's high invite, high challenge for discipling groups. And so it really makes no sense for us to have a community called Brown to Green that is not high invite, high challenge. It makes no sense whatsoever. And what I found myself doing over the past 2 years is like adding people to Brown to Green, taking people out, and people calling me saying, put me back into Brown to Green, so I put them back in. Listen, I'm kind of be done with that. All right? Brown to Green exists to make other people better. And there's a covenant that's involved in Brown to Green. And honestly, 3 of those covenants you can hide in, but there's one that you cannot hide. And it's the one that says that I will intentionally invest my life into at least one. And you can't hide in that. And so here's the thing, like, Brown to Green exists to make disciples who can make disciples. And if you're not going to do that, man, that's fine. Like, it's okay. Like, that's between you and Jesus, and I have no power to stop that, help that, whatever. That's between you and the Lord. And so my push to you is this, is that if you come to the retreat and you sign this covenant, you will be held bound by the elders of this church to walk that out. Like, your name on that paper will mean something. And you will be part of a high invite, high challenge organization that requires you to give your life to someone else. And if you can't do that, like, if you have no intentions of January 2017 to December of 2017 to walk with at least one, then, man, Brown to Green is not for you. Like, because that's not what we're going to do. And it's unfair for you to be a part of that community when others are giving their lives for it, and you get to pick and choose whether or not you want to play in it. And so, man, hear my heart. Like, I believe that everyone should walk with just one. The reason being is because it forces you to grow up. Like, you can hide in 1,000 places in any given church, but when you're asked to pastor someone, that person will either A, see through you, or B, see Jesus through you. And I am convinced that more times than not, they will see Jesus through you because you will not allow them just to see you. And if you're going to be a part of that, man, that's awesome. Like, come to the retreat, sign the covenant, be part of what we're doing. If you're not going to, I would ask you to refrain, like, step out of Brown to Green, like, walk away, okay? Because you cannot give to the Lord that which costs you nothing. And I won't allow you to in this arena. My heart is for you, to fight for you, to make you an awesome man or woman of the Lord. Like, wherever you walk, things get better because you're there, where you've grown someone up and they've gone to love the Lord and love people because you were in their life. And man, if you've got 1,000 other ways to do that, or 1,000 other ideas, dude, that's awesome, right? But I would ask you not to come to the retreat because this probably isn't going to be the place for you. And this covenant community is not going to be the place for you. But man, if that is your heart, like if that's your soul, then man, we welcome you into the covenant community with open arms, with accountability. With accountability. Because that's what we're moving into in 2017. High invite, high challenge. Moving from discipling to discipling leaders, to multiplication, to seeing a movement. It's pretty amazing that 5 groups launched without you even knowing it. And the only way you know is because an email came through. And so, man, we want to love the Lord with all of our heart, soul, and mind, and then we want to love His people. And I don't know any better way to do that than through the process of making disciples who can make more. So I hope this wasn't too long. I love you. If you have any questions, give me a call, shoot me an email. I'll be glad to talk through you with them. But we're moving Brown to Green and continuing to push it into a high invite, high challenge relationship where there is something required of you. And if that's not for you, man, we love you. Dude, you're awesome. There's 1,000 other things we do here at New City Church that you can play in. All right? And so, man, with that, having said that, man, call us with any questions. Man, reach out to your spiritual parents with October 16th with our prayer walk with Morgan Greer and Surf Community Church. And, man, keep calm and disciple on.